Hello, greetings. Thank you for joining us. Tonight's broadcast brought to you by Fifth Dimension. Fifth, Sixth, Seventh Dimension. Doesn't matter. Greetings. Okay. So today I woke up. At least this morning, I woke up with Iraq energies, connected to the Carians, and it kind of brought me to southern Iraq. There's a lot to digest there. I'm kind of actually worn out from, connecting to this all day. I can't remember half of what I've connected to, but the gist of it, the main nerve center, from what I get, southern Iraq, the cradle of civilization, Mesopotamia, Babylon, parts of Babylon at least, something like that. Wherever there's a military presence and you're not allowed to go to. That's where alien energies are majorly. I'm talking about a major hub. I want to say that's like the meeting place. I think that came through channeling yesterday to a certain degree, but yeah, it's like there's Antarctica, there's other places, there's Area 51, stuff like that. And this is like Area 51 times 1,000, or more than that. Obviously, there's a military presence for a reason. Obviously, it's unsafe for many reasons. Even Baghdad, as wonderful as it looks like a great vacation spot, I think there's a travel advisory for that. Definitely southern Iraq. I'm not sure about Baghdad, but I can't imagine Baghdad still being that safe. So this is probably isn't new news for a lot, but as you open up to new vibrations, how many are really ready for an actual alien connection? Not to say if you go out there you're going to actually have an alien visitation, most likely not. But it does not mean that their energies are not there, and they are there. And with the military presence, now they're not, obviously a lot of this stuff's not going to hit the news for obvious reasons. It's like another world. So now there's stories about, I don't think we're getting 100% on anything, about like Saddam was going to bring out information or something like that. That's why they invaded him. There's various reasons. They're not really, you probably will never really know to this full extent. They try to do a cover up, yes. So there was, we went there. Obviously, our military went to 2003. It's like, hey, all the terrorists are in, Saudi Arabia is one. Afghanistan. All of a sudden, we're going to Iraq for some bizarre reason. So yeah, there's vortexes there. Definitely, it is a place that they wanted to occupy for various reasons. You can say to protect it, to keep other countries out of that place, for as more of a U.S. presence. I imagine there's a presence of other militaries also. It's put to up the game of military presence there, because they see the future better. There's always going to be different scenarios. But what I kept getting is that is the major hub of alien connections. That's where all your government energies are. For alien governments and stuff like that, it happens in the cradle of civilization, according to history at least. Of course, the Egyptians are a lot older, and modern history, there was a place for alien genetics, or our genetics, to refine us to just the wonderment we are today. So, but yeah, we call it. One thing is that we're in a, like, schools are prisons too. It's another way of looking at it. It's like, when you go to school, it's like, oh, I gotta go. It's like, I can't leave until like 3 o'clock. That's this world. It's a school, but also a prison. It's we have to learn our lessons to up our game, basically. Now it's funny is I'm in Florida, where there's like Mickey Mouse, and it's like when you connect to all these aliens and all that, it makes sense why people love themselves some Mickey Mouse, because when you're connecting to like half human, half bird being, and you actually see it. It's like you want all the Mickey Mouse you can get your hands on. It's like you go there for safety. That's where you go to hide. It's like, and yeah, it is a major manipulation to keep us in a childlike state. I mean, there's nothing wrong with having childlike ways, but to keep your mind, your focus in a childlike world, to keep you out of their business. Not to say you can't upgrade from that, but you know they're kind of forcing us that way, calling it entertainment, to keep you in that. Because when people go, like, for example, I'm using a Disney example, but you know, you go to Disney, people are like, I'm a child again, I'm an adult, but I'm a kid again. They want you to keep that kid mentality that they formed for you to keep you out of their business. So I don't know how that's going to go with the rest of the world. How is humanity going to upgrade from that? Yeah, who knows? It's hard to say where humanity is going at this time for change and transformation of what's here, but we are on the peak of it, at least. Some kind of revelation. Yeah, it's just, I don't know. I haven't got any attacks recently. I was kind of expecting a whole bunch of them, but so far things have been. Yeah, when you connect to some of this stuff, I mean, you can connect to these being like the Carians brought me to this area, and I haven't really connected to the Middle East that much, or at all. Here and there, not much. Mostly Egypt, even there it's kind of bleh. But in for that, southern Iraq is a kind of epicenter. They are keeping a lot of it shut down for their sacred sites. That's where a lot of the magic and energies are. Of course, mostly it's underground from what it seems. Let's see here, what do we got? Okay, so yeah, southern Iraq. I found a wiki, at least the term of it, at least, and it's, yeah, the cradle of has a cradle of civilization. It has all the different places that's in that region. I'm not going to go into all of it. I don't have any energy, but the one is Hey, it's You are. I don't know how to pronounce that. Notice there's a military presence here. It is a. Where is she? So that was pretty neat seeing that. So yeah, that's I would say there's a lot of vortexes around that area. Like I said, most of it is underground. So good luck on finding anything. But yeah, I believe it's off. You don't see many tourists over there. I doubt there's going to be any. But it's basically a sacred site. And I'm surprised they even put pictures out of it. I imagine there's much more out there than just that. But it's hard to say at this time. So yeah, that's a major place for alien origins, obviously, in our modern setup for our modern reality. And the military force definitely keep us out. So yeah, they did. Yeah, there's something here about a declassified U-2 spy plane photos of new dimensions in archaeology, and it had the city of, I think the city of Ur is in here. I forget. Either way, they found more. I'm not sure. I didn't read through all of this, but either way, there's a lot more stuff that's being found. Let's put it that way. Oh, good. This crap. Yeah, there's a exposed hidden archaeological sites. Okay, and this is back. Now this is a recent article, but the YouTube, yeah, it's hidden sites basically. Yeah, which you're probably not going to go full public on, but it shows some stuff. I didn't really read through all this. I have no energy, but it is in the city of Ur. I guess there's a city called Hammer. Well, good luck on that. But yeah, Iraq is Babylon. It's mostly Iraq, either way. And yeah, so ISIS was created through Iraq's energies, of course, and it's manipulating humanity like a son of a bitch, destroying what they can. So okay, those are new all this live talk.com. I have private sessions throughout the week. You have right here, one had channel, be bizarre. You have Google Hands, Zoom, and channeling by phone. You have 7 days for delivery on questions. Same situation here. Other channels and healers I do recommend. I have social network. I did some changes on it. Notice got some person's feet, and there's that person right there. And we're going to add some stuff over time. That looks kind of neat. And absolute insanity. Thank you for your support. It's all bizarre. It's going to get weirder. So the idea, yeah, is to connect to alien energies in the physical eventually. Well, people say they don't believe in any of this, but it's all in where you look. Go like I'm going to Iraq. Yeah, that's. I mean, you can. It's not exactly a #1 tourist destination. But there are sacred sites that they do not want you there for various reasons. But it is a place that many do go to in astral that are part of this awakening. Let's put it that way. So some people might feel those energies there. You might see Thoth and astral. You might see these different beings up here because it's very a real deal there. So with transition, we're basically a lot of this is going to go through weather too, like strange weather anomalies, not necessarily fires in California, but not necessarily hurricanes, but basically it's warmer and cooler in certain times of the year than it normally isn't. That's kind of how they manipulate the energies to kind of give you an idea of what's going on. Let's see if anybody comes through. Carrions did an excellent job of not fully coming through, but yeah, they did bring their energies through. Once again, yeah, the Carrions play a big role in manipulating the governments because they have governments similar to them. But as humanity awakens, basically the consciousness shifts, and it shifts the negativity out. Now, as more people awaken, they're going to see where the manipulations are coming from. Even release those manipulations, like through. Like a lot of the nonsense, I'll just connect with politics because it's all nonsense. Eventually, the two-party system will break down. It's already a farce as it is. Eventually, it will cut in the middle or just devolve. I don't know if it's going to happen in our lifetime. That will be huge. It just get rid of the old. It takes time. But basically, a lot of humans here are going to start activating themselves a little bit more differently. Crystalline energies. Also, diamond-like diamond source energies. Diamond energies are stronger than crystals, actually, at least vibrationally. You can have them physically if you really need to have one physically, but you don't necessarily. Diamonds kind of cut through the energies a lot stronger than crystals, from what I'm gathering. A diamond grid energy is really the way to go. So as we're kind of like in a cocoon at this time, we're breaking through the third dimension. And human evolution is going to start to shift slightly out of the coma called this reality. It's just people are going to start connecting more to their feline, their whatever it might be, dolphin energies throughout this year. It's going to increase even more where people are allowing it. A lot of people are putting the brakes on it. But they can't allow, because basically your face can also disform too, not mean disform, but change appearance. I mean, people want a plastic surgery, disconnect to your higher self. You might turn into an elephant being. You never know. Well, maybe not yet, because a lot of people are not ready for it. They're kind of hitting a freeze on that. But yeah, because basically as we go into a higher dimensional energy, you'll be able to change your appearance slightly here and there where you need to. As we up our vibrations, you'll be able to do it a lot easier. For those that want to do it, let's put it that way. And sometimes your energies are shift anyway because the energies are connected to. You kind of have to change your form to connect to a different vibration, a higher dimensional energy. So you have to you're kind of like a satellite, you're receiving, so you have to shift yourself to a degree to receive. Let's see, there's a lot of dolphin energies, interesting enough. I know it's the desert and everything, but there's a lot of dolphin energies in the desert regions, especially in Iraq. Yeah, a sand dolphin. Meaning there's a lot of Syrian energies there. Put it that way. So it's yeah, you kind of have to take reality and kind of shift it the other way around. So, seeing a fish being in Iraq probably won't be that. Yeah, at least we can connect it to the alien energies. You'd be surprised how many are fish entities. This is connected to your astral. So the veil of us connected to aliens is going to get stronger or lifted, but our connection is going to strengthen if once you allow it. As it's just, and that is a region you can connect to vibrationally. I would say even to speed things up slightly, depending on how you feel. You connect to any part of the world that you feel like you're activating, where you feel like you have past connection. But many of us go into various places in astral, and the cradle of civilization is one of them. That's where you get activated the most. That's where a lot of DNA energies were created. Yeah, that's like one of the, I feel like Atlantean hub for changing our DNA and all that. Of course, there's been many buildings there before what is there currently. It's like think of like where there's a Stargate, there's a very like a this like an Atlantean structure there that had a Stargate energy, and people went through portals like no big deal. Then the Earth shifted and went to a lower vibration. That building was destroyed. They put something else there, but the portal remained. Just like the Bermuda Triangle, stuff like that. So it just, it's a little bit, heavy to pull in just now, but vibrationally we're going to get stronger with these connections, because it's time. It's time to let go of the third dimension. Slowly, most people are connected to, the program. Yeah, they say they don't believe in the Illuminati, but yet they buy their stuff, they wear their clothes, they live in the mentality of it. They don't believe in aliens for various reasons, because you're being programmed by one. It's like, you're not going to see it because that's your master. I hate to say it though, when people do pray to God at churches, you're actually praying to an alien being. I hate to say it. That's what it's like, they think they're praying to this almighty God. Wonder why God doesn't care. Well, your God's a freaking alien. It's like, you don't give a shit. It's like, it depends on what God you're giving your power to. You're giving to God, that's different. But most people are giving to the God that the church is selling, and that is an alien God. So our alien God says, screw you humans, you're not worthy. You have cancer, I don't care. So, you gotta look at things a little bit differently. Who is your God? So they're not always aware of who they're getting their power to. That's the thing. Religion's a tricky business, and as more people realize, there's a lot it's up to them. There's positives to everything. It's part of soul growth, it's part of community. It's not the end of the world. It's just remove the belief system, at least the control grid that's brought you there. It will help. Whatever. The Bible is, obviously different alien texts all run into one. Yes, it's done a kind of like in a poetic form to some degree, meaning that it can be interpreted in all shapes and forms. That was the point of it. It was also to confuse the soul like a son of a bitch. It's like here's a handbook for life. Good luck on figuring it out. Because the object of this world is, that's another thing. A lot of people here are lost as hell, and it's like, oh, that's just the worst thing. But actually, depending on your point of view, when you connect to the spirit realm, that's kind of the point. You come in here, you don't know what the hell you are, because you figure it out the goal is not to know what the hell you're doing. Of course, when you find it, that's great. But the soul growth really is when you don't know what's going on. You don't know where you're going. That's like golden energy there. That's golden knowledge that you can't get on other worlds. We have alien beings flying around in a spaceship. They kind of have an idea what the hell they're doing. But you're on this planet and you're working at McDonald's or something, you have no direction. It's like you strip away all the power and all the knowledge, and you work at McDonald's flipping burgers. That's a big deal. So It's like that's another reason why people have difficulties removing these, because they're here to, they stripped away from their power. Now their power, well, they still have power. It's just they're experiencing kind of like a powerless existence to a degree. And for knowledge, for various versions of knowledge, like you can't get this anywhere else. Not like this. No world is exactly the same. So you come here for a specific reason. You can't duplicate this world no matter what. It'll always be different. You can have Earth 2, Earth 3, Earth 5. It'll never be exactly the same as this one. So that's why souls come to a specific world for specific reasons. They know exactly what they're going to get out of it. And you might spend most of your life lost, if you want to call it that. It's like you're putting your treasure box of knowledge together, life knowledge, that you can't get anywhere else. So it's a tough game. It's it's what it's all about. It's mystery. Just like a test, like a normal test. You don't know if you're going to pass it or fail it. But that's what life is kind of the same thing. It's just you don't know what the hell is going to happen with. It's like, when you get out of here, it's like, did I do a good job or did I just suck? It's like, you don't know until you. So you just do the best you can. It's all anyway. Alright. Let's see if any carrion beings want to talk to me right now for various reasons. It's alright. Martian vibrations. Let's see. Let's see. Some of you might be notice that the cube is in your culture. Yeah, look it up. In your Islam, there's the cube of knowledge, the Rubik's cube. The cube energies you might see them in your mind's eye flying around. There are alien entities that do fly around in a cube-like ship. And there's entities that are, some of them are archons. If you do see a cube energy, that also says you are accessing archon energies of releasing knowledge. Realize you are connecting to archons for more knowledge, and yes, some of them fight back heavily. But once you pass their test, normally you can access their framework. And because archons basically, yes, you have carrions, you have all these various different beings, but it all goes into the archon library of this reality. So the archon energies is where many of you are trying to reach out and to break open, read, connect to, whatever it might be. The archon, either way, all the alien energies are mixed into this archon grid, matrix grid, whatever title you want to give it. It's all a mixture. It's all blended. Even many of you connect to it. Even some of you do manipulations of it to keep it going, because consciousness is not ready. So many of you are accessing that knowledge to, archon energies to break open this reality. There's a Martian, a little bit from them. Reason that came up recently, I've been seeing 2 or 3 archon cube, like large ones, in the skies on my mind's eye. I've just felt their energies. I've felt 3 of them at least. I think it's 3. So kind of like, so I didn't realize what the hell they were, but I'm accessing their energies. Yeah, they came in just for a little bit, but I can still feel their vibration. It comes and goes. So it's like another thing of, I don't know what's coming up, but nothing is ever truly known future-wise for us to see. But in Archon grid, you see everything very clearly, but you also see various different timelines, timetables. Some of you go into astral. Do you access it in your own way? Some of you feel like you're worn out when you come out of astral, is because you went to the Archon grid. That's why. And you went to a section of it where you weren't necessarily welcomed, or you're looking for information. Yeah, you're trying to make things happen. Now, you're not entirely always in the Archon grid. You might pass through it. Or, I mean, technically, yes, you're all in the Archon grid, but there's different areas of, like, where energies can be not exactly, you can access areas that do see your future, and you gotta be, when you access the future, you kind of get energy buried or hit or whatever it might be. Others don't bother with it. They can see it from afar. They got an idea. They can see it through their own soul energy. They don't really connect to the Archon energy. Well, seeing it through the Archon's point of view, you can see a lot of change of events too. It's just different ways of looking at it. There's a spiritual direction, but also there's knowledge in the Archon archives where it's very powerful. It can get very intense. It can even damage the soul of accessing that information. Why some feel hit, hurt, they're losing their mind, because they're very connected to the Archon grid. Archon grid can drive you insane. Schizophrenics are connected to the Archon grid. So they're accessing unknown knowledge, hidden knowledge. So, yeah, mental illness, but majorly is schizophrenics that are connected to it. So I hear voices, I would have this and that. It's different various versions of. There's all kinds of connections. It can drive you insane. It's kind of the intention of it, to a degree. At the third dimension, it will cause you to go insane, but at a higher level, not likely. At a higher dimension, you can handle it. This dimension, you can't. It all depends on the soul. Too many voices at once. So seeing the Archon Cube energy shows that you are making a change in your life, while also accessing kind of private information, but enough where you're allowed to, you're allowing public archives. Basically, you're being monitored. This is from Soul Energy. What is this from? That's Soul Energy. 1 moment. Oh, Archon energy. Alright, connect to Archons. Let's see. Right now, the human collective is busy in their reality of fakeness, you can say. Of this reality is not the true one, but it is like they're living in a movie. The third dimensional movie. They, yes, are actors in some might call it a doll play. It is, everyone has their own perception of point of view, but many of you are accessing other energies to change that story of this earth, to basically bring in other versions of earth to shift this one out of its own, because as you can tell, with those that don't really access this energy of alien energies, at least with channeling, because they're so used to this reality, the movie, for better or for worse, is acceptable. Even if they're living hell on earth, many of them, not all, but many, most, are enduring it. Because they have to. They feel like they need to. Not ready to disconnect, as many of you have. Many of you have, and others will eventually, when they find a way out. They don't think there's any way out of this reality. Many of you have found ways out. And yes, there are consequences of loneliness. But then again, there's some consequences of being in it also. A lot of health issues are in the third dimension. Many of you open yourself up and realize, not to say your health is perfect, but you feel better mentally to a degree. Sometimes being at the top isn't so easy, as you can see. Soul warnings here, bringing in, yes, alien energies here that have been frozen in time in the past. Now, writers and creators and unknown individuals that don't want to make themselves known publicly, I've been connected to these energies privately for some time. But you are bringing a force of change with your vibrations. So this year, Yes, expect the vibrations to shift around your July. It all depends, but many of you are connecting to the unknown world regions of this earth vibrationally and not having fear. Like if, yes, you connect to the energies of Iraq, for example, and see, yes, a giant bird being, are you scared or not? Yes, there are fish beings there. There are various versions of alien species. Even your fish beings can be more advanced than your reptilians. You'd be surprised. They can be more fourth dimensional, fifth dimensional, even fourth dimension. They can access energies of your fourth dimension that many of your reptilians can't. And the traditions of your channeling is also going to shift eventually to more alien energies, even manifesting alien vibrations where you actually see the being around you. That's not time for that yet. Many are having difficulties. But as you channel the being, you will see their face next to you. So it's the vibration of, some of you are seeing a third eye at this moment. So yes, there's going to be trickery all through, always. For those that are not ready for it. Trick them out of it. It's like, get out of here, you don't belong here, basically. But many of you, yes, are going into the realness of your reality to bring these beings into your modern earth. And that takes time. Of belief systems, but not going by it in your traditional sense of connecting. Energy connections is really the way to go at this time. Physical connections will be down the road. Not everyone wants to hear that your physical connections will be sporadic. Yes, realize this is like moving a mountain to some degree. For your world to shift into more of an alien matured reality, you have to kind of climb the mountain. It takes a while to climb Mount Everest. This is kind of the same thing. But you are making the leaps more than you have in the past. Trust your vibrations individually, yes. Alien forces will get strong in due time, or right now for some of you, but the vibrations, you will eventually shift to a timeline where you can feel these energies a lot stronger. Yes, your alien hubs in your Iraq, yes, are part of control grids on your world. Basically, many are not truly ready for an alien experience as much as they might think they are. Now, there are others that are and just getting very frustrated. But others that think they are still have a long ways to go. We know who you are. But yes, also you realize that the carrying energies, the bald eagle vibrations, do run the narrative for many felines that have their own control systems out. Meaning that where you see a feline being channeled, most likely there's a bird being hidden behind that vibration. They're kind of keeping an eye, but also keeping control. And not always their vibrations are going to be known publicly. Most likely, feline beings, depending on what kind they are, will deny it. Some will be truthful, but it depends on what they're up to. The human soul has to trust itself. It's a gradual process. Are you manifesting these beings into your reality? Yes. If you wish to connect to alien vibrations, you are. In the physical front, you are. There's always going to be certain degrees of connections. The physical world takes time. But remember, your intentions is bringing it closer. And that is huge. And you feel the love with that connection. And you have to get over the demons and the anger. And, of course, some of you will be talking to demons, having lunch with them, finding out a lot of those are Atlantean beings that have been wronged on their planet because they're seen as bad because they want to keep your vibrations high, and now they're seen as the villain, and they've been just manipulated heavily. Different variations to look at it. Yes, there's a lot of knowledge there. A lot of them are Babylonian also. Babylonian demons are trickster energies, and some do show up as genies. So there's a lot to know about your world. Yes, the ancient histories of your earth. Yes, do control your secret societies. What do you think your secret societies connect to? Ancient energies. And yes, they keep it secret for a reason. But as you can see, we're not keeping much of this secret. As this, yes, this will... secret societies do run your mainstream media formed media, your movies, all of this, of course, in secret. But then they put their images out there. Those in your mainstream media will slowly... Their negativity is not going to be as strong as it used to be. Right now, it's a big bubble of negativity because it's a control grid. But as you allow love to come through yourself and send it out, a lot of those that used to deliver negativity on a daily basis will find themselves with no words. We can't talk about these people anymore because we found God, technically. So, love conquers all, yes, and it can heal the negativity of your earth, of course. Love is not an easy one either. So, blessings to you. You are connecting, yes, to the energies of Uranus also. Other planet energies are getting stronger. You're feeling their assistance of removing the tests here slowly. Once again, your mainstream human, as Ivan calls it, is part of the movie of your reality, the story of your reality, the timeline of your reality. We will find a better word for that, but it is a place of comfort. You're connected to the mainstream thinking, but many feel unhappy and unfulfilled by that thinking because they know there's much more. Why people get depressed? Because you're rejecting this reality. You don't know where to go. Depression is big on your world, as you can see. But it also shows that you are curious. You are connected to another reality. You just don't know where it is, how to find it. But some of you are connected to it and you're losing your minds right now. Quite understand that also. But once again, your Archon grid is where many of you go into astral. You connect right into it, yes, and you're in the fight, you can say technically. You want to bring in more information here, but you have to kind of go to war to a degree to bring it through. There's a comfort zone of channeling, but there's also an uncomfortable. The uncomfortable reality is where, yes, it's a little bit rough. Where, yes, there is a place of love and light, but many of you see that also, to a certain degree, can be used as a manipulation to keep things slow. Many of you want to make things go. To do that, you have to bring out information that others are not necessarily ready to hear, but at least you put that information out. It might not be popular right now, like in Mesopotamia. Your Iraq might not be popular right now, but over time it will be. Change is hard. It is changing from one's comfort zone is not something that you do overnight, as you know. Send your energies of your transformations. See you in astral archons. See you in the grid. Much love. Alright, hopefully that was helpful for somebody out there. Alright, take care everyone. Have a great night.